Pandaemonium Abyssos. First time story in the raids, Midnight No Echo. Let's see what we're in for. Again, I'm excited. Mosby, I made a breakthrough. After uncountable days and nights, I finally hearkened to the crystal's whispers, and I must say, Professor Claudian, where are your manners? While I understand all too well your enthusiasm, I must remind you that even the most academically inclined prefer a composed recounting of events. Ah, yes, of course. My apologies, Masumi. Being consumed by my research for so long, I'm afraid I have quite forgotten how to engage in civilized conversation. Okay. Ahem. In that case, perhaps we should start by the beginning, with the crystal set adrift upon the ethereal tides, containing the memories of a party yet unknown. They cried out for deliverance from Pandaemonium, where the ancients kept volatile creations under lock and key. You yourself witnessed the power devouring the facility from within, and the advent of a divine monstrosity wrought of mythic beast and powerful mage. Fortunately, your martial prowess and the combined magical talents of your companions, Themis and Erechthonios, was sufficient to restore order to the circles of Asphodelos, but the greater threat remains. In the depths of Pandaemonium, a presence yet stirs, its intentions and identity shrouded in mystery. That is the issue at hand, is it not? Yep, pretty much summarized it. Since you returned to us, we worked tirelessly to discern the nature of the crystal. In the process, I detected an anomalous etheric signature, which I believe arose from the memory stored within. Analysis of this pattern suggested a feeling of loss of yearning, specifically the yearning to be made whole, and indeed, ambient readings have revealed a faint but identical signature. This will only mean that another such crystal exists in our time. So what, it's two? So, my friend, I must depart to search for it forthwith, by tracing the matching etheric signature to its source. I believe it will be a simple matter to find our crystal's twin. Professor, would this expedition to be carried out by only by us, or will Masumi grace us with his protection? I'm afraid he has more pressing matters to attend to, my dear, Roisinod. Namely, to seek out the secrets which lie nested within Pandaemonium, where this all began. From all we've heard, it appears that time traversal from the Crystal Tower is not fluid. That is to say, one can travel on predetermined intervals. It would be prudent to check in on occasion, in case there are any unanticipated changes. As for you, my loyal assistants, I would ask you to remain here and continue cataloging the ancient creations. Okay. You can't mean... Do you intend to search for the crystal on your own? Why yes, that would be the most efficient use of resources, would it not? In fact, I've already commissioned a ship and pilot for that very purpose. I trust you take good care of the laboratory in my absence. Okay. So off he goes, so I guess we're heading back to the Crystal Tower, back to travel back in time. I apologize for that somewhat abrupt departure. When progress is in sight, Professor Claudian tends to become blinded to all else. Indeed, he has been worse than usual. While I cannot fault him for his excitement, I do wish he would spare a thought for those around him. For reasons unknown, the crystal seems loath to be overheard, much as it spoke to you only to you last time. None but the professor has been able to capture its etherical yearning, which has served only to convince him that he can solve this puzzle on his own. Surely after some time alone he'll come to remember how valuable we are. The search for the crystal seemed to be a simple enough matter. Let him have his adventure, and upon his return I'm certain he'll be back to his usual self. As for you, Masumi, maybe best to return to Pandaemonium, as Professor Claudian suggested. Speaking of which, I did have a request of my own to make. Traveling to Pandaemonium requires you to pass through Elpis, correct? There's something I would have you investigate in my stead. All those creations confined within Pandaemonium are considered to be failures. I doubt that's their whole story. Barring exceptional cases, they must have been under observation in Elpis before being consigned to their shackles. If you know anything about the ancients, it's that they would have kept thorough records of the results. Ah, brilliant. Delving into these records may shed light on creatures Masumi has yet to encounter, if your theory proves correct, that is. While there are no guarantees, it certainly beats the current strategy of rushing forward blindly with only his strength to carry the day. For your own sake, as well as ours, please unearth what information you can. Okay. to go back to the first. So do we... Actually, not the first. Okay, yeah, I can just go back here. Alright. Oh, Themis is here. What's up? You seek records of Pandaemonium's creations. Master Themis has just finished perusing the very same. I'd not be surprised that we both arrived at the same conclusion. Luckily, I have saved you the trouble and gleaned what information I could. Ah, so you know each other. I was dragged having to once again scour the archives, but perhaps instead I'll rest for a spell. If there's nothing else, I shall take my leave. Cool, so Themis is here, chillin'. As should we, for I have undone the warding sigil blocking the entrance to Abyssos. I came here merely to chase an idle suspicion while awaiting your return. Fortunately, while Pandaemonium's protective wards continue to be assailed by our unknown foe, there have been no fluctuations so great as to make me doubt Erechthonius' capacity to keep watch over Asphodelos while I'm away. He works diligently as to master internment, and might deliver the creations back to their cages by his own hand. I thought it best to give him time to hone his craft. Since the fate has brought us both here, I've asked you to accompany me while I tend to another matter, more idle suspicions that I would like to chase down. Rest assured, it should not take long. I simply have a few questions to ask an acquaintance of mine. Come, he's agreed to meet us near the Neas of Pandaemonium. Okay. Who is this friend? We're gonna find out. So who is it? As I pondered our expedition to Pandaemonium, I could not help but be mystified by how strongly the warders we encountered felt for La Habrea, whether it be good or for good or ill. Hesperos and Erechthonios were two sides of the same coin. The former looked to his mentor with absolute devotion, while the latter looked to his father with bald hatred. Bald. I would not expect a familiar such as you to understand this, but such extreme emotions towards a single individual are quite rare indeed. Naturally, I feel gratitude toward my mother and father, yet we are all equals in the larger picture of the star. This view is not unique to myself, it's more or less accepted as the way of things. By contrast, the researchers of Pandaemonium seem to view La Habrea with a feeling approaching obsession. Whether driven by love or hate, they have all been drawn to him. There are many other aspects of the facility's particulars I've found troubling. Besides, I decided best course of action would be go straight into the source and pose my questions to a member of the Words of La Habrea. Oh, okay. Is the dude we talked with last time. My apologies to have kept you waiting, Master Themis. I understand you're conducting an investigation to Pandaemonium, and I wish to know its origins. Indeed. In particular, I wish to know why exactly Pandaemonium was built directly under Elpis. The facility is overseen by the Words of La Habrea, after all. Why keep it so close to Elpis, whose governing body has no say in its day-to-day operations? At first I thought it to be simply a matter of convenience. Those creations which were deemed failures by the researchers of Elpis could be easily ushered into their new homes. Imagine my surprise when a trip to the archives revealed that many of the creations were sent from organizations beyond Elpis, including from the Words of La Habrea themselves. Given this, albeit limited information, I cannot but feel the Academia and Nider would have been a more fitting locale. What does Elpis have that cannot be found here, or be found there? These are fitting questions, and ones we have asked ourselves for many times in recent years. Alas, the nature of Pandaemonium's construction does not lend itself to relocation. When first it was built, circumstances weren't as they are now, and as you surmised, the majority of the creations kept within Pandaemonium were sent from Elpis. Yet as years passed, interests changed. Failures and creations deemed too flawed even to submit to Elpis paradoxically drew attention of Pandaemonium's researchers. That is quite the change. In fact, it almost runs counter to the facility's original purpose. Who is it that decides which creations will be subject of research? Master La Habrea. Such authority is reserved for the chief keyword, and he has taken upon himself to step into that role. So if Pandaemonium's resources were being misused, it would be under La Habrea's authority, correct? What's La Habra doing? I know not what you're suggesting, but the keywords also hold some sway within the facility. Not even Master La Habra would be free from their scrutiny. They are duly bound to report any irregularities as soon as possible. Though I admit as of late their communication has been somewhat sporadic, we but recently received a report from one of the keywords stating that all is well within Pandemonium's walls. Or halls. Really? Are you certain that keyword sent it? Yes, of course. Our communications suffered a temporary obstruction, but I can assure you that the words did their due diligence in confirming the identity of the sender. Okay, and who was the sender? Thank you. This information will be helpful in my investigation. That'll be all for my prying. I shall take my leave. While you are yet permitted to conduct your investigation freely, I must remind you that the warder's work is delicate, and it would be remiss to disturb them for longer than is necessary. All is well. A blatant lie, and to that we can both attest. One of the remaining keywords is most certainly in league with the party behind this. Let us hurry. I know not why our adversary sent that report, but 'tis plain that we must return to Pandaemonium with haste. Okay, head back. Back to the spooky Castlevania. Let's go! I cannot guess as to why this false report has arisen now, but it certainly bodes ill, as does the knowledge that our mysterious mastermind has at least one more keyword to puppet. Regardless, they have tipped their hand, and we would be remiss to leave Ericthonius at the mercy of their machinations. Let us hope no harm has befallen him. Yeah, let's go see how he's doing. See how the lad's doing. Ooh. Oh. So he's just chilling, it seems, kind of just practicing his magic. Not quite. I've traced these sigils countless times, yet still I lack the strength to maintain the spell. Now the time works against me. I can no longer be victim to my own ineptitude. What? Who goes there? Hee, there is something to be admired in such single-minded effort, even if your methods leave much to be desired. You allowed this familiar to catch you unawares. Have you set your sights so high that you forgot to walk upon the earth? Was this biblically accurate, Angel? I know this creature, a familiar of the Phoenix, but that monster's locked away. That it is. In spite of the trouble I went into freeing it, I might add. Begrudge me for addressing you in this ill-fitting form if you must. But with control of Asphodelos wrested from my grasp, 'tis simply the best I can offer you. Hide if you will, but mark my words. I will find you and make you pay for the chaos you've sown. Now, there's no need for such hostility. A calm heart stays the course. The wisdom of La Habrea, your father. And how would you know that? How would you know what wisdom he speaks? I've heard those words many times. The scolding of a tutor whose students struggled to grasp the most rudimentary lessons, seething with disgust. No. I've not told that to anyone, not even keyword Asperos. That can only mean one thing. That you still insist on mocking me. Stop this farce, La Habrea. At last, you moved to keep up. Pity that you remain behind, nevertheless. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What? As ever you are, always you failed to learn. You failed to understand, failed to act. And though fate deigned to offer an escape, you remain here. You're bereft of magical prowess and common sense both. But you need not despair, dull though you may be, yet you yet are indispensable to Pandemonium's great experiment. Is the affection I remember. Tell me, did I ever once measure up to your expectations? You shall. Take pride in that, and rejoice to see your wish fulfilled. What? What wish? Come, and all shall be revealed. All this rage, this hatred, is but a consequence of ignorance. Our desires align more than you know. What are you? So I guess... oh. Uninvited guests join our reunion. Seems fortune no longer favors you. So I guess this is La Habrea, somehow. If you think I have any interest in listening to your prattle, let alone bowing to your will, I'm no longer a child, and my faith lies with those who have earned it. So these are the heroes who brought Hesperos low, even as power divine flowed through his veins. 'Tis plain there are worthier subjects to contend with. So that little thingy is La Habrea. So I guess he's also... he too is working? Are we actually going to see him, though? It's kind of a big deal. We're going to actually see him. He's like the OG villain. Thank you. If you'd shown up even a moment later, I shudder to think what would have become of me. There's something I must tell you. I know who's behind this. There's but one person who can hold thrall over familiar, creation and keyword alike. La Habrea. Masks of the Father. Ooh. Seems like our first fight. Let's get into it. We're gonna have to wait for a PF as well. Damn. Oh well. And so there can be one conclusion. La Habrea was the driving force behind this chaos from the start. There is logic to that. There are few with the wherewithal to even consider experimentation on such a scale, let alone the capacity to create demigods from man and beast, with the rest of us none the wiser. Considering the magnitude of his work with the convocation and the words, his relatively minor role as chief keyword comes under little scrutiny, even as it provides him the authority to wield dangerous magics. It may serve as veil and mantle both. Still, I find the notion hard to accept. The misdeeds perpetrated here could not have been done by the La Habrea I know. You've met him, yes? Do you think he's capable of this? Oh, you're asking me? I get a dialogue option? Look at him. La bread. He's capable of more than you know. Is he? So you believe La Habrea to be the man of few scruples, if it brings his goals closer in reach? That alone should be enough, but let me assure you, La Habrea holds nothing so dear as his own ambition. While he may not be one to let emotion stand in the way of his mission, I cannot believe there are no depths to which he would not stoop. Although we met but briefly, the impression you left on me stands in stark contrast to your evaluation. Those methods are ever unorthodox. They seem guided by a firm understanding of what is just. There's one way to find out for certain. We delve deeper into Pandaemonium and pull back the curtain on this mystery ourselves. A wise course. I would not deny the truth if I saw it with my own eyes, even if it was discomforting to behold. Can you join? Yeah, of course you can join. They must move forward with no excessive caution. La Hebrea, or whomever is behind this, has likely spread their tentacles into every corner of Pandaemonium. We can safely assume the other keywords won't greet us with open arms. Agreed. Let us make our way through Abyssos one careful step at a time. We go in. I shall stay by Erechthonios' side in case our enemies think to target him again. Could I trouble you to take the vanguard? You can count on me. Thank you. As a precaution, I shall safeguard you with a simple spell. This will ensure that even should we become separated, my phantom warriors will still come to your aid. If it does come to battle, the keeper's magic will put us at a disadvantage once again. Luckily, we have you, even if the scales somewhat. I trust you shall be liberal with your weight. All right then. We get the fight, P5. Do we get it? Venomous Mass. Is this the fight? We'll find out. Let's get a party finder open and get into this. Abyssos, 5th circle. Let's go. See what this fight is. Ooh, I'm excited. Music is at 100 as well, by the way. Ooh, this is cool. Oh. Oh. My God, the music. Oh, we're in one of those big spiky cages. With more spikes around the arena. Proto Carbuncle. Oh, that's cool. It's the Carbuncle boss from Final Fantasy V. That's cool. I like the music too. Alright, let's go. Just pull. Alright. Are we gonna see it? The music, again, the music is good. Oh. Oh, okay, that's a cleave. Interesting. Ruby Glow, I'm assuming that's a raid wine, just gonna mitigate that. Okay, I know what Ruby Glow does. I played the older FF games. It's a reflection spell, so it would very obviously reflect off the wall. Topaz stones. Okay, I don't know what they did. Nice. Okay, I've got this pretty easily, I think. Yeah? Gas the frontal cleave. I really do like the music. The music is really nice. Oh, I got worried for a sec. Oh. Oh, face change? Oh, I was like, what, like destroying the cage? Are we gonna fall down? Oh yeah, we are. Holy shit, okay. Oof. This guitar. Goddamn, this music's insane. Toxic Crunch. Are we gonna? I wonder if we're gonna see it. If we're gonna see Venomous Mass. Venom Squall. Okay, not it yet. Nice. Okay. I mean, we're just chilling. There's not much going on in the fight. I mean, it is the first fight of the tier, so it is going to be easy and simple. At the same time, I'm kind of just vibing to the music. Those have acid on them, so does that mean... Oh! I think I'm doing it somewhat right. Oh, Devour. Uh-oh. Devour Prog. Yay, we did it. We made it past Devour. Nice. Okay, this is fun. I am enjoying this fight. I'm actually really excited to do this tier Savage. This is probably like my most like anticipated tier aside from Omega. It's because like when this fight came out, this was kind of like when I really got into watching 14 on Twitch. So I saw a lot of people doing this fight when it came out. So I kind of like had like a weird nostalgia for it, even though it was like a year old. Other side. Ooh, there goes our dancer. Alright, we can probably LB3 the boss and just finish it. LB. Mod check. There it is. Nice. Alright, now watch, they're gonna dump all the loot on me after we clear. Ooh, that crit. God, the Inner Chaos crit was insane. Nice. That was a fun fight. Again, I'm excited to do it on Savage. I'm really excited to do this Savage tier. All these mushrooms. And fly traps. Yep. There it is. There's the loot dump. Cool, we've captured a carbuncle. Like a Pokemon. Nice. And everyone probably left. So I'm just on my own here. Yeah. Let's go. Oh yeah, oh this, I forgot this armor. This armor looks sick on this tier. All right. So this is where research is conducted on creations imbued with poisons and venoms. Ericthonius and I were conveyed not far from here. It seems our foe is finding it more difficult to surprise us. Fortunately for you, since they appear particularly keen to see you dispatched as quickly as possible. Even alone, you are a force to be reckoned with. Part of me is glad you emerged victorious, that I might observe you further. This is La Habrea. Is it? Is he actually going to come down here? Who this? Oh, I think it is. I see the red mask. Oh my god. Were the circumstances different, I might thank you for keeping my son alive for this long, but I believe we can forego introductions, unless I've misread you. Oh my god, it is. It is Laha Bread. He's real. Am I supposed to know who you are? La Habrea. Passably perceptive. Yes, I am La Habrea, of the Convocation of 14. If you truly are who you claim to be, then answer this question. That can wait. Oh. Well, what is this? Uh-oh. Now this is curious. The trap I wove at your feet reacts to ether, but you remain unaffected. Such thin ether is an unfamiliar composition besides, is of no matter, I suppose. A more direct approach will beget the same results. I would advise you to think carefully before deciding your next action. Strike me down here, and Ericthonius' wish shall remain unfulfilled. Never again shall he meet Athena. Mother? You would dare hide behind her name? Listen well, Ericthonios. We are of the same mind concerning your mother. Yet you have your allies for protection, so what harm is there in hearing me out? Ericthonios, wait. There's a question I must needs ask first. If you truly are La Habrea, why speak such blatant lies? Bitter in defeat, are we? Say my name. Heisenberg. A simple request. Themis, was it? A trifle soon forgotten, as are you. I have my answer. The La Habrea I knew took pride in the Convocation. It would never suffer its denigration. I'll show you he's powering up. You sully his station with this farce. it's not. Themis, what are you saying? La Habrea and I hardly saw eye to eye, but I know his voice when I hear it. Indeed, he makes a passing fine imitation in appearance and matter. However, the real La Habrea would never call me by the name Themis. Ooh, so it's an imposter among us. What trouble have you gotten yourself into, Elidibus? Elidibus? So, this is getting out of hand. Now there's two of them. Imposter, you have no right to claim that form, that mask. Okay, so, yeah, sus. What? Who? So that's the real La Habrea. Who's this then? 'Twas a mask that sickened me to wear. A mask of La Habrea, a man who values his position above all, who would murder his own wife in pursuit of duty. Yet you would assume my name and wield powers that are mine by right. Any worth you may have hinges on that which you so despise. Such trite provocations. I will not be goaded into finishing this ere my work is done. Erythronios, listen well. I am Hephaestus, and it is I whom you should call father. The fuck? Okay. What in the name of creation? You would do well not to stand idle while our enemy is about. I believe an explanation is in order, Elidibus. Let's return safely so you may provide it. So that's Elidibus? He's a lot shorter than I expected. Ah, that sounds more like the La Habrea I know. So... Okay, so Fandaniel's real name is Hermes. Emmett's real name is Hades. I guess, Elidibus' real name is Themis. So what's La Habrea's real name? Before we depart, however, I must offer you an apology. As La Habrea said, I'm Elidibus, one of the convocation and emissary of their will. For reasons which did not involve you, it was necessary to hide my identity while investigating this place. La Habrea is his real name. Got it. Okay. Still, that hardly excuses my deception. You're still Themis to me, I guess. So was this our Elidibus, or is this like a previous Elidibus? Such words are comforting, truly. I shall offer an explanation in time, but first let me assure you that my choices were not born from animosity. In any case, we have pressing matters to attend to. Let us do as La Habrea suggested and return to the gates. We can speak there. Yeah, something of a deceptionist myself. Please, help him. Save him. Save him. Who are we gonna save? What is that disembodied voice? Oh, we're here. So La Habrea is here. That's kind of a big thing, I think. As you're aware by now, I am known as Elidibus after my dear friend Azam and I detected irregularities in Pandaemonium. We decided the best course of action would be to hide my station as I conducted my investigation. As I'm sure La Habrea as well is eager to find out why I hid who I was. So I shall save that story for later. First, I'll just speak of you, my friend. Although neither Azam nor I have ever met you in the flesh, you came with his highest recommendation. That alone was enough for me to accept you as an ally without question. As somewhere in the world a guiding star so similar to himself was out there amused Azam to no end, there was not a shade of doubt in his heart that you would be a formidable ally. Furthermore, I've heard stories that Mistress Venat, who had the position of Asm previously, journeyed with a familiar much like yourself that made a decision to trust you all the easier. She too now dons the white robes of an advisor. If she placed her absolute faith in you, I knew I'd be in capable hands. So that's what the white robes are, they're advisors. Okay. Although I was on the path you had walked, I had no interest in exposing you. I merely wanted to meet you, travel by your side for a while. I may know but a small portion of your whole story, but that is enough for me to believe you would never lead me astray. I wanted to tell you that. Alright, well, thanks, Elidibus, Themis. Wow, that's something. Alright, let's lock P6.